It's Christmas time. Oh, hello everybody. It's me, Chris Smith, and I haven't made a video in, since sometime in June. So it's good to be back in front of the camera again. Today I'm reviewing the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, the revival that is playing Off-Broadway at the New World Stages. And you know what's funny? The 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee started Off-Broadway in 2005. It opened in February. I think it was at second stage or something like that. And then it transferred to Broadway in May of 2005 and opened at Circle in the Square Theater, where I saw it. So this is the 20th anniversary revival. And I saw it in mid-April on a Saturday. It was very significant, that trip, because, well, for many, many reasons. One being, I was seeing 3 cast members from the hit show Glee. I started on Thursday night of that trip seeing Leah Michelle, who was Rachel on Glee. Then on Friday night, I saw Matthew Morrison, who was Mr. Schuster in Just in Time. And then on Saturday afternoon, I saw Spelling Bee, which featured Kevin McHale, who played Artie on Glee. So that was my Glee trip. Also, this day was one of those 3 show days, which I love doing a marathon 3 show day in New York. I mean, where else can you see 3 shows? You could do it during Fringe Festival or something like that, but it is difficult to see 3 shows. So we saw 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Then we got to see Oh Mary, which had like a 5 o'clock, or I think it was 5 o'clock or 5:30 show. And it was the understudy Hannah Saulo, and we knew that Hannah was going into it, so that's why we went to see it. Because we wanted to see Hannah. I follow her on Instagram, and she is hilarious. And then that evening, we saw the Rocky Horror Show. And you know, funnily enough, now Kevin McHale is leaving Spelling Bee and going into the Rocky Horror Show as the new Brad. But for now, we're talking about the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, also just known as Spelling Bee. Now, this is a show beloved by many, many people. It has music and lyrics by the late, great William Finn, who brought us falsettos and Spelling Bee and A New Brain. So much wonderful music. Book is by Rachel Scheinken, and it was conceived by Rebecca Feldman. Additional material is by Jay Reese. This version, this revival, is directed and choreographed by Danny Mefford. It was originally directed on Broadway by James Lapine, and the musical supervision and vocal arrangements are by Carmel Dean. And it's based on the play Crepuscule, an original play by The Farm. Very interesting. Now, we had 2 understudies that day. At our performance, the role of Rona Lisa Peretti, was played by Cecilia Snow. And the role of Douglas Paunch, I don't remember how it's pronounced, was played by Brandon L. Armstrong. And those are both the two adults that are sort of running the show, the calling out the words and everything, giving you the meaning. Other than, of course, the other adult is Mitch Mahoney, who's like the grief counselor type guy. Now, here, it's not a playbill, it's a stage light. And I like that it's thin. It's more like the size of the things that we get in LA that are just very thin. There's no magazine with it like you get with a nice playbill. But it's fine. Okay, so here was the cast. And I'll talk about those understudies in a moment. The big draw for this one was Jasmine Amy Rogers, who was playing Olive Ostrovsky, and was, of course, I was obsessed with in Boop, and still am. Okay, so here's the whole cast. Philip Arroyo, Autumn Best, Lena Ray Concepcion played Marcy Park. Justin Cooley, who was in Kimberly Akimbo, played Leif Coney Bear. And Lily Cooper, who was in Tootsie, of course, played Rona Lisa Bear. What was her last name? Rona Lisa Peretti. Okay, so for our Rona Lisa, we had Cecilia Snow. And she was so good in this role that, I mean, I love Lily Cooper, so I didn't know what her performance of this would be like. But I remember thinking during the show that Cecilia Snow was so good that I couldn't even imagine seeing anybody else doing that role. Which is the fun thing about when you see somebody who's a standby or understudy going on and doing a role of somebody, even somebody you wanted to see. That if you haven't seen the show, and I saw the show, of course, originally 20 years ago, but if you see this person, then that's in your brain as the person, that plays the role. Sometimes you'll go back and see the person you wanted to see, but I thought she did an amazing job. Now, I did see a slime tutorial of Spelling Bee that had no outages. No, everybody was in the show. And of course, just Jason Kravitz was playing that dude who was out, Douglas Paunch. Matt Manuel played Mitch Mahoney. Of course, Kevin McHale as William Barfay, who they keep mispronouncing as William Barfy. And Jasmine Amy Rogers, of course, played Olive. And our Douglas was Brandon L. Armstrong. And he was very, very good, too. This is a very solid show. It's something that you might forget if you haven't seen it in a while. And it's such a well-oiled machine, really, because it's just like it's set at a school. They're don't know how old these kids would be. 12, 13, 11, something like, that they're playing. They're young. They're not fully grown teenagers. And they do such a good job playing these kids. Just the mannerisms. Even watching the slime tutorial, it's like, wow, look at them in the background. They're kicking their legs, they're rolling their eyes, they're just sort of, they're sort of kid-like. And I was really impressed just watching this back after I'd actually seen the show and seeing it, a recording of it. just seeing how they stay in character. And, you know, they use about 4 people from the audience. No, they don't just pick them at random. You have to agree ahead of time because they have numbers and everything. And you're on the stage doing the spelling too. And some of them get really easy words and some of them get ridiculously hard words, which kick them out right away. But it's just done so well. I must say, I didn't buy any merchandise because I don't really like. It's sort of like a computer animated looking artwork, just arms and legs kicking up. I like the bee, but there wasn't anything really with the bee that I wanted to buy. And I still had my original poster from the the Broadway version. And I still have my magnet. Now, of course, these look more like the people that were playing it on Broadway. But I still like this logo. And we still have the bee. And New Musical Comedy. The bee is holding a little sign. So I'm like, I'm good. I have that. I don't need any new merchandise, which is very unusual for me to say. Now, Jasmine Amy Rogers is leaving the role of Olive Ostrovsky on August 9th. So that's one of the reasons I was like, hurry and do this review. If you can get to the New World Stages in New York and see Jasmine Amy Rogers on or before August 9th, I urge you to do so. She will break your heart into 1,000 pieces. The vulnerability of Olive and that Jasmine Amy Rogers puts into this role is incredible. And she's a girl who's sort of feels unloved by her parents. Her mother has gone off to an ashram in India. Her father is sort of taking out on the daughter what he wants to take out on the mother, as she tells her mother in a fantasy scene that is the most amazing song ever, where she imagines her parents. And different people in the cast become different people's parents, which is very effective. And in this case, it was Mitch Mahoney, the guidance counselor guy, and the Rona Lisa character, who become the parents of this girl, and they do a little song together. But so Jasmine Amy is leaving on August 9th, and she's going to Broadway to start in Schoolgirls, or the African Mean Girls play, which is what it's called, on September 8th. That's when it begins previews. So it's called Schoolgirls, or the African Mean Girls play. I like that. And then later in the season, in the spring, she's going to be back on Broadway in Sound of Music playing Maria. How do you solve a problem like Maria? Kevin McHale is leaving the role of William Barfay on August 16th. And he's joining the Rocky Horror Show, as I said earlier, playing Brad. I love that everything's like musical chairs or a game of chess, where you're just moving the pieces around. So he's going to be Brad starting August 25th. Now, Lily Cooper left today, August 2nd, when I'm filming this. So you've already missed her, but she is, so she left to August 2nd. And Alex Newell, speaking of Glee, is taking over as Rona Lisa Peretti on August 7th. And Alex will only be there for 4 weeks. So if you want to see Alex Newell, who played Unique, you've got 4 weeks starting August 7th. So it's very cool. And Alex had done, of course, Shucked and Once on This Island. So I think they will be very good in this role. So, yes, if you can get to New York, then I really recommend Spelling Bee. Now, the original Spelling Bee opened off-Broadway, like I told you, and then went to Broadway. Now it's back off-Broadway. But it was nominated for 6 Tony nominations the year that it came out, including Best Musical. It didn't win for that. But it did win 2 Tonys for Best Book by Rachel Scheinken. Bear with me. Yes, Rachel Scheinken won the Tony. And then Dan Fogler won Outstanding Supporting Role in a Musical. Outstanding Supporting Actor. So that's nice. 6 nominations isn't bad. And it became one of the most frequently produced musicals in American regional theater and school theater. And it also became an international hit, so it is done all over the world. The 20th anniversary production, which opened November 2025, has been nominated for various awards and won a Lucille Lortel Award for Outstanding Revival. And when it was off-Broadway originally in 2005, it also won a Lucille Lortel Award. But I think it was for Best Musical then. So isn't that amazing how everything comes around full circle? So a high recommendation for Spelling Bee. Okay, I have so many things to tell you over the next few months and so many reviews to do, some personal news to share. Blackie Humphrey will pop up. Puppets are going to be guest starring. So we look forward to seeing you the next time that it's Christmas time. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.